Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. In today's video we are having a look at the latest beta release from Tecmo and team. So this is a new game. This is a game that is part of the JT Gaiden core, part of the Ninja Gaiden aka Shadow Warriors core. Last week we got another game as part of that core, which is a game called Tecmo Night, also known as Wild Fang. Now we have the third, potentially the final game, but there is like another bootleg game on this system. I know some of the hardware in there is slightly different. Hopefully we will see that in the future. That's like a reskin of the Ninja Gaiden game, and it looks kind of good. The color palette reminds me of The Simpsons a little bit, so hopefully that does get an implementation in the future. Can't speak for Tecmo and team, but one can wish. But hey, we're talking about other games. We need to talk about the game in hand, and that's this one over here. Like you just saw over there, you can face the other way and fire. I kind of did that for show. So you've got two buttons in this game. One button fires. It fires everything you have, your missiles, your shot, whatever power-ups you pick up. The other button will simply just swaps direction, and it's very handy. Now, I never played this game in the arcade, never at all, and the first time I played this is what you're witnessing now. I booted up my MiSTer, I ran up their tool, and bada bing bada bo, I was playing Strato Fighter, also known in Japan as Raiga. So this game here, okay, before we talk a bit about the game, I kind of have some memories of this game, and now it's a little bit unusual, but we're going to go into story time. So do you remember last week I mentioned a friend of mine that used to come to the arcade? The guy was slow. I think he had he had learning difficulties, potentially disabled, but he always used to go around shouting, yeah buddy, yeah buddy. That's what he mainly said, but he did have somewhat of a vocabulary. Now, what he used to say is, when I used to play R-Type in the arcade, he used to stand behind me and say, turn around, press the turnaround button. And I used to tell him, yeah, buddy, there's no turnaround button. There's no turnaround button. Frustrated while trying to play a game, he'd be like, turn around. And he used to have this friend with him. I remember when playing R-Type, he had this friend with him that always had like a Superman figure with him, but he couldn't say Superman. Whenever you say to him, hey, what's that toy you've got there? Aren't you a bit old for toys? He used to go, this is Superman. And they were quite the comical lot. I was always nice to them. They were nice guys, but they were definitely special. So, yeah, buddy always used to say, turn around. No, you can turn around. Press a button, turn around. Yeah, buddy. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? And you know what? I think he was talking about this game, because when he would describe stuff, it sounded like this. So, it's amazing. 2 weeks in a row, I found games that this guy whose name I can't remember, I can only refer to him as Yeah Buddy, and I also remembered his friend, this guy that always had a Superman toy with him. We're talking like we must have been 14, 15, but he couldn't say Superman. He just used to go, Superman, and he used to be flying around that Superman toy, and the poor guy used to be making flying sounds dribbling. Anyway, enough of that story. It's just whenever I kind of look at arcade games, even though this is the very first time I'm playing this, it still gives me that nostalgia here, just because of Yeah Buddy and Superman. I really wish if I knew their names, man. They were characters. Alright, let's now talk a little bit about this game. Guys, this game's a lot of fun. As you can see, I'm facing the wrong direction. Is that the right direction? I guess in this scenario, it is the right direction. So it's quite a unique characteristic this game has. Now, I'm trying not to really edit this video. I played this, I'm doing the voiceover, and this is where I'm playing. So this game here, it's like that. When you get the power-ups, you feel powerful, you feel fast. But like a lot of the other games, when you die, man, you start with a pea shooter. Well, a little bit better than a pea shooter. You have got some stuff, but it does make the game somewhat more difficult. So this game, the developer for this game is Tecmo. The publisher is also Tecmo. It was released in 1991, and as you can see, it's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up. There are lots and lots of different weapons in this that you can get. You control it via an arcade stick. I'm kind of looking at some notes that I've made here. I don't even know why I put an 8-way lever in there. That's the sticks that we had, whether they were in a square box or whether you had like an 8-way gate. There were 8 directions, but there's different weapons. Your main weapons can be a shotgun, an iron launcher, or like this kind of vertical wave. As well as that, you've got protection hand weapons, a beam rifle, a solid shooter and a blaster, sidearm, homing missile and a bomber. I really do like the homing missiles because sometimes you're firing away at big ships and you can't exactly see where you want to fire, but your homing missile will kind of go in there and aim at that part, kind of giving you a little hint as to where you should shoot. But I thought I did quite well on my first run of this, but I've got to be honest here, I did go into dip switches and put it on easy, and that's why it's kind of looking all right. And I kind of done all right for the most part until roundabout here I crashed into, I dodged bullets, here you go, I crashed into a bit of scenery, and this is where it is. You lose your power-ups and you're there with a little pea shooter, and here I am ready to face a boss. But guys, this game is a lot of fun, and this is where it's hats off to Hortego, man. His betas that we test, they're in excellent shape, just like Tecmo Knights aka Wild Fang. There's a little line that you can see sometimes on the left hand side, but honestly you don't really notice it. It doesn't really mean much, but it's just nice. Like I said kind of last week, when Hortego gives us all these heavy hitters, it's nice to see. I don't know if these were lesser known arcade games. Well, they're definitely lesser known than the heavy hitters like CPS1, CPS2 and a lot of Data E stuff, but nonetheless these are arcade classics. I'm really glad I discovered this. Even though this is a new old game for me, it has awakened a lot of nostalgia just because of my buddy, yeah buddy, and his buddy Superman, who always had the Superman toy and dribbled a lot. So guys, if you're a Patreon supporter of Hortego, run up there too and you can grab this beauty for your MiSTer or your Analogue pocket. If not, then wait for us guys to test it and it will eventually get a public release. But that's really it from me guys. Enjoy this. It's a fun game. It's a lot of fun. Really try it out. So be awesome to one another guys. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.